What's a shiny Pokemon? It's a Pokemon that has a different color palette than its original. Here's an example. Today, we're going to be talking about some of my favorite rarest shiny Pokemon you can get. In no particular order, let's talk about Shiny Unknown in the Generation 2 video games. In these games, a Pokemon's shininess is determined by its IVs. If a Pokemon's speed, defense, and special were all 10, and its attack IV was 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11, 14, or 15, it will be shiny. Due to this mechanic, it caused a little bit of an odd dilemma with Unknown in Generation 2. You see, the lettering of the wild unknown that you could encounter was actually also determined by its IVs. Meaning that the only shiny unknowns that you could get were actually the shinies for I and V. It's oddly poetic. Oh my god. Did you guys know 97.4% of you are not subscribed to my channel? 97.4. We're not even close to 69% of you guys not subscribing. Please subscribe. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I have spent over 300 hours in this game. Oh my god. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet gave us an evolution to my boy Dunsparce. That's right. This boy evolves into Dunsparce, which is just a long Dunsparce. Game Freak, your creativity knows no bounds. Dunsparce has two forms. We have a 2-segment form, and then we have a 3-segment form. The 3-segment form is the rarer one out of the two, with the odds of getting it being 1 in 100. If we take that into account with the base shiny rate odds of Scarlet and Violet being 1 in 4,056, the odds of getting a shiny 3-segment Dunsparce comes out to a staggering 1 in 405,600. And I got one on my first try. This was before I understood the rareness of it, and I feel like I've used up my luck since then. So shiny Pokemon weren't actually available in Generation 1 games. They were unveiled in Generation 2 games. So you can't get shiny Pokemon in Generation 1 games. Like, 100%, they don't exist, they're not there, they weren't put into the code, so you can't get them. But you can. To explain, in Generation 2, a Pokemon's shininess was determined by its IVs, like we talked about with Unknown. Therefore, if you got a Pokemon in any of the Generation 1 games that had the IVs they needed to have to be shiny, and then just so happened to transfer them to a Generation 2 game, you've just obtained a Generation 1 shiny Pokemon. Now, I don't actually have the odds of getting a shiny from Generation 1 and then transferring it to Gen 2. All I can say about it is it's such a cool shiny. It's just so neat. Like, at the time, if you had the hardware to do it and the RNG and luck, you could literally shiny hunt for Pokemon in Generation 1 games and then get them in Generation 2. It's pretty cool. Did you know that you could get an impossible leveled Salamence in Sun and Moon? Did you also know that it could be shiny too? Sun and Moon had a mechanic called SOS Battling. With this mechanic, if you hurt a Pokemon enough, it would call for help. On Route 3 of Melee Island, you can encounter a wild Bagon 1% of the time. If you lower that Bagon's health low enough, it'll call for help. Now, when it does call for help, there's actually a 1% chance that a wild Salamence between the levels of 9 and will show up. That Salamence could also indeed be shiny.
Oh, shiny Salamence! No way! There's no way!
And the odds of that happening are around 1 in 409,000. That is actually one of my dream shiny hunts. I do plan on doing it. Who knows, maybe you'll see it on this channel at some point. Now, these aren't the rarest shinies you could get. These are just some of my favorite rare shinies that you're able to get. Let me know in the comments what you think of these shinies, and let me know what some of your favorite rare shinies are.